What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of Kevin's Fate. I am your host, Kevin Davis. At this point, you should know what I do because I've said it 1,000 times. But today, we're back with the legend himself, Mr. George Medina. Get your meds, guys, because we all need it. Not really, but welcome to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
Good, Kev. Thanks so much for having me, man. I was just talking to you about like your setup behind the scenes, the Kev logo. It's all looking so dope, bro. I'm so happy for you, man. I was there at the beginning when you first got into this thing, and to see where you are now, dude, it's impressive, man. So congratulations, good job.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, August of this year marked my first full year as a host of podcasting. Man, it's crazy. I didn't even think about that until like a week ago. I realized, wait a minute, my year's coming up. Holy snap, that was fast.
Did you ever think that you'd be like doing podcasts and stuff like that?
God no, man.
Yeah,
God
right.
no,
Yeah.
bro. I didn't even think I would be doing business stuff either. I grew up as a nonchalant kid. I didn't know what the heck I was gonna do with my
Right,
life.
right. Yeah, dude. And then the bug just bit you, and here you are, man.
I love creating. I get asked a question like, bro, do you sleep? I'm like, I've actually gotten better at it. Yes, I still sleep now. I've gotten better at it, and I've got to a point. It's like I'm 4 years into the entertainment industry. I'm actually now gotten to the point where I can balance better and just actually find a way to rest. Even though my brain moves like a million miles per hour every single day, I found a way to like turn it off, like by listening to some music or some ASMR or like some sounds, like to distract my brain for a bit so I can calm down and get some rest. It's like, when I first started, I went to bed like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I was working. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm like between midnight and 3 a.m. I'm going to bed. So midnight, 3 a.m. I'm going to bed.
Better.
It depends on the day. Sometimes I get up at 9, sometimes I
Okay.
get up at 11.
All right. So you're getting
Sometimes
some
I get
sleep.
up at 9 and 11 because I wake up, then go back to sleep, then can wake up again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it really depends on the day.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
Oh yeah, man. But first, I know what you do, but potential artists that don't know what you do, tell us a bit about your genesis, your story of like what you do and what made you become a creator.
I have a company of my own called Get Your Meds. It's a play on my last name. My last name is Medina. The meds are my books, my comics, my product. I want you guys to get hooked on my meds. So that's what Get Your Meds comes from. Where I started publishing, self-publishing, way back in like '03. I started doing that. And my first book was a book called Rust 5377. It was a book that I created when I was working at an orphanage. It was a group home. I'm not a social worker or anything like that. I was working as a data entry guy. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and a name came across my desk, and the name was Nonami, and I was like, Nonami, that's interesting. That's an interesting name. It was no name. The kid had no name. They didn't know where he came from, what his background was. As a creative person, everything becomes a story. Like we look at the world through a different lens, and
Oh, yeah.
everything that can happen around us as creatives becomes our next story. So that's what this became. And so Russ is the story about this kid who lives in an orphanage sometime in the future. I don't tell you when. He's starting to realize that maybe he's not in a group home exactly, and he's actually in a lab where they're trying to create a perfect specimen. And when he starts to figure this out, he decides it's time to leave. So that was the initial story that I wrote, that I self-published and did all of that. And it's
Nice.
taken
Heck
me
yeah.
down this path, man, of just creating more stories. Wonder Duck was the next one I created, and now I'm doing the Shameless plug, this little guy right here. So yeah.
Man, I'm like I met you officially 2 years ago now. It's been officially 2 years. It's been officially 2 years now. And dude, I remember I don't know how we met. We just met through a group probably,
Yeah, I know
potentially.
you were on our show, on our Catch the Craze show. But how did we officially? Yeah, it all blurs in
It's
because
yeah,
just, you know what I mean? Yeah,
it
no, I
really
hear you.
blends in so much, man. But yeah, every single day I'm inspired by something. Ever since I got into the professional industry, like started writing and creating stories, everywhere I go, I can make a story out of freaking pencil or something. I can make a story out of a billboard, out of a random person. I'm seeing like a corner out of my eye, or but it's like my brain just operates differently now, and so like even like watching movies and TV shows, my brain basically fights itself because I try to watch the first watch like as a fan, not critiquing it, just see how it makes me feel. You know what I mean? But the writer's brain it still clicks in when you see certain moments that so I was like, I'm trying not to do it, but it intertwines. I'm a creative, so it really just becomes natural now. I'm not gonna fight it no more. I'm just gonna just do it. Like, who cares? And like because someday I want to be a filmmaker and get into that process. That's why I like watching like behind the scenes of my favorite movies, like Transformers, to see how their craft they bring that to life, especially like how to protect the actors with these explosives and like how do they put those animations or CGI. That's what they call it, CGI with the robots and everything. It's like my brain just continues to get inspired every single day, and I've really been inspired recently when the movie's Obsession in Backrooms is doing so well,
I've
and like
heard, yeah.
and hearing back there is these are two YouTubers, young filmmakers making box office. I was like, the guy who did Obsession is the same age as me, 26 years old, and then the guy who did Backrooms is like 20 years old.
Ah,
And I'm just like,
holy cow.
holy smokes. I'm like,
Hmm.
these are two independent artists that are legit making bank right now in the box office.
Yeah,
And I was like, and it's original product too. So I'm like,
word.
Hollywood better freaking pay attention because originality sells. You just have to know how to sell it right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Those movies, it's not like they had a big marketing push behind them. It's all been a lot of like just word of mouth kind of thing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So like
yeah.
it's very interesting how that has happened. There was that movie, and there was another movie before that. It was another scary movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but this year that has also done well in the box office, and people weren't expecting it. So yeah, man, it's pretty interesting, man.
And like as an independent creator, like was like when I got into creative because I was tired with the Hollywood rehashes and like the sequels. Like, what is your take on basically everything entertainment, like from like the evolution of comics to publishing to movies to TV shows? Like as an independent creator, how do you feel like the evolution is going with all these different aspects of entertainment?
I'm older, right? So I don't want to sound like the old man, get off my lawn type of thing, because things change, things evolve. And I'm sure that when I was growing up, I grew up in the 90s, listening to hip hop. My parents were like, what kind of music is that? What is that crap you're listening to? What is that? They don't even sing, they just talk. What are they doing, right? And
Yeah.
so I had to defend my generation and say, no, this is the cool stuff. You don't understand, you're not cool enough. And I feel like that's what's happening today. Now, we can talk about, like, obviously big topic, right? AI. Are these things
Yeah.
being written by a person? If the, whatever. To me, that to me, there's no room for that as far as creativity goes. Is making tons of money, whether people like it or not. You wrote that. It was you. It's different if you used, or I used, an AI generated, script to create that same story. Now I think we're kind of cheating a little bit, because now it's no longer you, it's something else. So that's the only thing that I think I kind of like. I will sound like the get off my lawn kind of, because I don't think that should be allowed when it comes to that kind of stuff. And allowed is probably the wrong word, but I just don't vibe with that, man. I'm all about the creative process. I'm all about, creating stories together, and the collaborative part of it. But I think when you start using those kind of things, that's when it starts getting a little.
Yeah, I'm in the same opinion with you on that one, man. I like especially a lot of days I've seen like people making random posts showing like AI generated covers lately, and I'm like, God, that gives me a freaking ick. And it's like, it's like hire a real freaking artist, and they always make the excuse saying that they can't hire an artist, so they use AI and stuff. I'm just like, you don't know how to manage your money, like I'm like,
It's
it really irritates me. I'm just
yeah.
like, it's not that hard.
It's interesting, man. Like, and that's the other take on that, right? Like artists and the artwork that's being stolen. And I think it was on maybe Dash Gordon's podcast about this. And we were talking a little bit about, just AI, and how and writers are using it more so to get their stuff out. It's a cautionary tale for artists, right? Like, you're a writer, Kev, I'm a writer. We rely on artists to create, or to finish what we start, finish our stories. And so when that artist flakes, or, doesn't finish the product for you, or it gets very frustrating. And I think that what's happening is, because of the few artists who flake out on a project, or don't finish something, or are taking too long, that's what gives these AI, generated, programs life. Because now, as a creative, the writer wants to get the stuff out. The artist is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they, and I'm not saying it's right, I'm not condoning this, but then they go and try to do this through a not, AI generated program, because it's cheaper, it's faster, and they think that nobody's going to notice, right? Which is wrong, because people notice. I think artists need to start taking that seriously and saying, hey man, I better get my stuff together, because if I don't, this is what's going to happen. So yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough to be an artist nowadays because you can easily be replaced, man, with these things. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't really believe in the phrase you can be replaced with a robot because you think about it, if these corporations try to replace us with robots, they would lose a lot of money. They would legit make no money. You know, I'm not afraid with this AI stuff because human connection will never be replaced.
Yeah.
It's like it
You
would
know, it's funny
never.
you say that, man. Even when I call up AT&T to talk about a bill or talk about, a service or something, I always want to speak to somebody. I don't
Exactly.
want the animated, the automated stuff. I always ask for a human being because, like you said, to your point, it's that connection. It's that
Mm,
connection between, you being able to explain to somebody what's going on
exactly.
and what's happening, and that person saying, "Oh, okay, I get it. Let me see what I can do."
Yep.
Whereas a
Exactly.
robot or something automated is this is what it is. It's black and white. Did you pay your bill? Did you not pay your bill? That's it. So
Literally.
yeah, it's
But
funny
yeah.
you said that. Yeah.
Man, heck yeah, dude. That's why I started my own company. Like when I got into creating comics and writing novels and stuff. I wasn't like other people say like their dream was like work for the big two, like the Marvel and DC. I was like, I didn't grow up knowing Marvel and DC through the comics. I watched the movies and TV shows. I didn't find out about the comics until 2020. You know that story. But when I got into this industry, I was like, I wasn't the one coming in. I was like, I wanted to get published by Marvel or DC or Image or Boom Studios or IDW. I was like, I'll do my own thing. I was like, I just flat out came. I was like, I'd rather create my own thing and protect my own property because one, I don't trust people whatsoever. And like hearing stories about artists being mistreated and by these corporations. I was like, oh hell no, no, I'm not gonna try to please this outdated or what I call old farts in this like the suits. If you guys don't know, I'm very unapologetic. I just tell how it is. I don't sugarcoat nothing. So if you don't like that, I'm not sorry. But anyway, well, like that's why I'm like I rather build something beautiful on my own that I can build a community and make every story be relatable somehow. And like looking at A24, they're still independent, but they have a great distribution deal. I'm like, I want to be like that, where I'm still independent, but I have a partnership with some good people that can get like that can help me like give me the resources where I can spread the content. Like that is something I look for, or like I'm craving. And so I was like, yes, I will admit there were times I wanted to quit because I don't know what the crap I was doing. It's not easy to do, but the word quit is not in my vocabulary because one, I come from a family of business, literally. And my mother always taught us that I was like, never quit your dream. Follow it, learn how to build it, and keep striving forward. And so that's why I love every single time when I make a post about something. I knew that's gonna be one or two people and ask me like, dude, do you sleep? Or I mean, how do you have this much time to do all these things at once? And like, how do you balance this? I always made a joke. I said I don't. But on a serious note, I learned how to balance it by basically paying attention to everyone that's around me. Like I pay attention to George. Like I mean, obviously, well, you. I'm talking to you in third person, but I'm talking about pay attention to you. I pay attention to Dennis. I pay attention to like Matt Knowles. Like I pay attention to how each entrepreneur and creative person does their thing. And like you inspired me to do like a pre-order my website and a Kickstarter, for example.
Yeah.
And then and how you split it. I'm saying, oh, because some people don't really trust Kickstarter. Use your website. I'm saying that's another marketing way to do it.
Well, that was the thing, man. When I did my Kickstarter for the first 40 pages of New York Comic Con while the campaign was going live, and I was like, cool, all right, I'll get some people here at Comic Con to kind of like pledge to the campaign. And what I
Yeah.
found was that a lot of people who came to the table had no idea what Kickstarter was. They kind of heard about it, but they really weren't sure what it was, or some people just didn't want to sign up for something else, like give up their email to sign up for something else, so they never did it. So that's when I was like, you know what? What? I have a website. Why don't I just use my website
Yeah.
to create some kind of pre-order? Yeah, and I have a store on the website. Why not just create a pre-order? And so that's what I did. So when I was talking to people there at the show, I took a lot of email addresses. I said, listen, I have a book. This book is coming out next year. It'll be 140 pages, the full graphic novel. Can I send you information about it? And when I open up a pre-order for it on the website, would you be interested? And people were like, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah. So they signed up. So sure enough, I collected a bunch of names, email addresses. Big shout out to everybody who actually pre-ordered the book. Thank you so much for
Heck
doing
yeah.
so. And so that's what I did. So I got a bunch of pre-orders for the book. But then I truly believe in having different avenues. Like, because people may not trust my website. Who the hell is this guy? What am I going to trust this guy for? I don't know who he is. Your website, yeah, I'm gonna send you money. You're going to send me a book later on? Okay, buddy. Sure, you know what I mean. So that's why
Yeah.
I was like, let me do it on Kickstarter. So that's why I launched the campaign on Kickstarter actually last Thursday, and it's worked. It's worked, dude. It's worked, and I think it's just about being in different places, like online Kickstarter, at shows, in stores. I think you got to try it all, man. You got to try it all. You can't say no
Heck
to
yeah,
any
man.
of that stuff.
Skin Shifter that's coming out. That this Kickstarter coming out. I'm projecting around August. I This is the first 30 something pages, and so and like the next year will be the full fledged graphic novel. So I kind of took inspiration from you from that doing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to do, like, well, especially for this story, because I wrote
Mm.
it as a graphic novel, but last year I kind of wanted to get people's opinion and kind of see, okay, where's this thing going? And the
Yeah.
feedback was great, man. They enjoyed the first 40 pages of the book. I was like, awesome. That gave me, not that I wasn't going to finish it because I was going to do it anyway. I had already written it. I had
Yeah.
already,
Oh yeah.
like, my artist was already working on it. But it actually made me feel good about the fact that, okay, maybe I'm doing something right here. Because, you know how it is, man. The imposter
Oh
syndrome
yeah.
kicks in. And you're like,
Every
why am I
time.
doing this, dude? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, man. To your point, I like to surround myself not with yes people, but with people
God,
who
I
have
can't
your
stand yes
best.
people. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, no. But with people who have your best interest in mind. So like even within the industry, right? So yourself, you're a very positive person. You're not one of those people that are negative. Like I don't like to surround myself around people like that because it kills the vibe. You know what I mean? Like big shout out to Lori Calcaterra. You know Lori, she's
Oh heck
amazing.
yeah. Love
Passion the Pale
Lori.
writer, amazing. I reach out to her. We kick back ideas, just help each other out because sometimes you do feel down and you do feel like I don't should I be doing this? Why am I doing this? And it's
Oh, yeah.
always nice to have somebody to talk to say, nah, man, you're good. My boy Sam Vera. We do catch. I've known this kid for 20 over what 20 years, over 20 years. And, we're there for each other. We support each other. All my friends. Anibal Arroyo, another one. Jonathan Syfax. Like, I can name the list of guys that I grew up in the industry with is long. And you have that list now. I'm sure you have a list of people that you've grown up with in the industry that, you surround yourself with. And I think it's important. I'm talking a lot, but this weekend, I just went to Forest Hills Comic Con here in New York in Queens.
I think I saw your post about that. I
Yeah.
think I saw, yeah.
And I went because I knew that there were going to be a lot of people that I was at conventions with early 2000s. John Coates is huge support of what I do, and I'm a support of what he does because we started this around the same time. He's got a book called Samurai Ninja Rabbit. It's freaking amazing, and he's awesome, dude. He's an
Man,
awesome
heck
guy.
yeah.
So big shout out to him. His son does YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. His YouTube channel's off the hook, man. Tommy Coates. If you guys check that out, he's got like a coming of age kind of story. Like he does vlogs, but it's like coming of age vlogs. It's from when he was like in high school, and you follow him through high school. You follow him now. Now he's in college. You follow him through. It's so cool to watch, bro. And he does such a good job with those shows. So I started following him. So big shout out to him, and it was great, man. It was awesome to
Heck
kind of
yeah.
like just be around that.
Man, heck yeah, dude. Like, say I'm practically growing up with you since I met you. I'm like, we're gonna be working together someday once we get schedules aligned
Yeah, yeah.
with
I'm down,
projects
bro.
and stuff. And like with Dennis Knight, when I first met him, he was so freaking like so nice and professional
Amazing.
with me. And like now I'm working with Dennis. He writes for my magazine,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That's awesome, dude.
I'm like he's gonna be working on my anthology. But we're now it's just delayed right now because we're
Yeah.
all kind of everywhere. I was like,
I'm actually working with Dennis on a book that's going to be coming out. Chris Mad, do you know Chris Mad? He's an artist.
yes, yes, I did.
Chris, another one. He's freaking awesome, bro. He is,
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
he's
hell
an
yeah.
incredible artist. Anyway, he's on a book that Dennis Knight is working on, and I'm going to be lettering that book. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see those pages. The script. Dennis is incredibly talented, man. Dennis Knight is an
Man,
incredibly
he is.
talented writer.
Oh my God.
So that's going to be dope.
Dennis told you the story how this anthology came about.
No, no, no.
But Travis Gill, I've seen all his anthologies and everything, like the holiday like especially the holiday spirit when he does. And so like one day I was just randomly working and an idea popped in my head. I was like, okay, like can I make a holiday horror anthology? And but what can I do? And then out the blue, Dennis Knight pops in my messenger, and I don't know how to start it, but he told me he always wanted to make a Krampus story. And I was like, shit, this might be a sign. That's my head. Okay, what do you
That's
want to
awesome.
make? I
Yeah.
asked the crap, what do you want to make? And he sends me this entire pitch of like a 3 act part. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, I am thinking about doing a holiday horror anthology. And would you like to be a part of it? And he said, oh, sure. And I said, and I told him like the requirements. I don't want to be like the normal anthology. Just I know like some anthologies do like with 8 pages of story. I want to be bold. And I was like, you can do up to 35 pages for your story. So I'm like, I want to be bold. I want to be different. I haven't seen it because I've seen like a couple of pages like each story from each artist. And I was like, and then he has Mary so it's called Jollified. So that's the anthology. And we were talking. He said every day he sent me his pictures. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening right now? This is actually real. I was like, "Whoa, Merry Krampus!" And every like he seemed like character like descriptions, their backstory, their arc, and I'm like, "Shit!" I was
He's
like,
no
"I'm excited
joke,
for
bro.
this."
He's no joke. He's no
And
joke.
then and we had a conversation like, "Who's gonna draw it? Who's gonna color it?" And we both like, I'm like, Frederica does freaking amazing. Ibrahim that does the coloring, and I'm like George letters. I'm like, let's see if he'll be interested in doing like George letters. I'm like, I know you guys was like New York Comic Con together. I think he pitched you his story
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
He
yeah.
told me about the conversation.
Yep.
I was like, we got the team for your story.
It's freaking awesome. You mentioned that being bold and having big stories. So there's a
Hmm.
group, Wayward Raven. Those guys are amazing. I don't know if you've ever met Steve.
I follow
And
their page, I believe. They
yeah,
sound, yeah, I follow their page. Yeah.
yeah, and they have a book. They have an anthology called "We Suck at Comics." Literally, it's called "We Suck at Comics." It literally is called that. And they do an
What?
anthology like that. And I think the first anthology, they were like you. They were like bold. We're gonna do 34, 32, 24 page comics. No big deal. And that book, bro, was about that thick. It was
Man.
like a Bible, bro. It was a Bible. The thing with that book, though, remember, the bigger the book gets, the heavier it gets, and when you have to ship that thing, that's when you start saying, "Oof, this thing is getting." But it's a beautiful book, and it worked. I mean, it's really cool to be able to tell a full story, so that the
Hmm.
person who's picking up the book now feels like, "Hey, I've read a complete story. I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it's only 8 pages." Not that you can't write a page in eight, but to have that length of pages is
Oh, yeah.
always good too. Yeah.
And like plus when we get like doing that anthology, the way I'm thinking about doing it, I'm going to do like singles and the book. If you don't want to get the full fledged book with all the stories together, you can get like there's be a tier
Each
say Dennis
story.
Knight, Mary Krampus, Act 1, 2, 3 together, or like
Gotcha.
there's in singles.
That's
It's
cool.
like I don't remember if George wants to write a book, George Medina stories.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
If you want all those stories together, you can get this tier where you get the full fledged, I don't know, 200-page graphic novel of all of our stories together at once. So that's my thought process when we get to be able to do all that. As I said, I already got a plan for it. That's why I'm being bold because I do want to split it into singles at the same time as having the graphic novel. I will say the singles will probably be a graphic. I mean, the singles will probably be a Kickstarter exclusive though.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so after the Kickstarter, I would send the graphic novel into like distribution and everything, and like refillable and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna
So
say. That's a good time to
yeah,
plug Phil. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make sure
yeah.
that's a
So
Phil
that's
Brussick. Yeah.
yeah. So that's like my plan right there. I was like, but right now it's just on pause. It's not canceled. It's just delayed because we're all busy a lot anyway. But it gives me more time like to keep to building my stories and continue building on everything. So especially that's like my first anthology. I want to take my time with that. I'm quality over quantity every single time. Like I tell people, I might be Kevin, but I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm quality over quantity. I'm not gonna rush anything. That's enough of me blabbering. Let's me get back to you, man. The Shameless plug is on Kickstarter right now.
Yes, sir.
Shameless plug is back with the full-fledged graphic novel on Kickstarter, guys, and it hit the funding goal. So now we're actually pushing to get stretch goals done. So
The shameless plug is basically the story of a young boy who is trying to fit in, and he's not sure how until he uses his imagination to create a friend that's going to help him get through it, and is going to figure out how to fit in with the new kids in school, and the things that he's got to go through. So the shameless plug comes in, and it just kind of like helps him kind of like figure it out. And this is it's a coming of age story about a little boy. He's 9 years old. Joaquin has just moved to the country. He doesn't speak the language. He doesn't fit in at all. And so, like I said, he creates this imaginary friend, this little plug, who's gonna kind of like help him out. He's gonna help him defeat bullies and get his video game back that they stole from him. So yeah, man, it was a fun story. I created it back in 21. I had the idea for it. It all came from this. I'll show you. It was one of these guys. It was literally a plug. It's one of the plugs from like
Uh,
your
uh,
iPhones. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what would
yeah.
that look like if it had like a little face on it? That would be a cool little character. And so that's how the Shameless plug was created. Last
Yeah.
year, at the end of around October, I put it on Kickstarter, the first 40 pages, just to see how it would do. It did great. So I was like, all right, perfect. Joseph Olesko, who's my artist, he's incredible. And he's been working with me. He worked with me throughout the whole thing. He's also my artist on a lot of the books that I did for Wonder Duck. So big shout out to Joseph.
Same artist. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So he did the art for me, and I didn't send him 140 pages all at once because I didn't want to scare the hell out of him.
Smart,
I was like,
smart,
you imagine getting 140 pages at one time? So
smart.
I broke it down into 5 chapters. So I wrote this in like a five act structure rather than a 3 act structure. I used like a 5 act structure, and so I broke it down into 5 chapters, and I sent him
Uh,
5 issues, and that's how he drew it. He drew it in increments.
that's kind of how I'm doing like with Skin Shifter. We have
Yeah.
chapter one in production. That's for the first Kickstarter. And then like I mentioned, like the graphic novel, I'm hoping next year, but we'll see how my artist does first. Well, I'm hoping 20 like at least Halloween 2027, the Halloween
Excellent.
season.
Yeah, no, that's plenty. That's
Chapter one in August of next year is the full-fledged arc, first arc of Skin Shifter. So I like she got chapter one. I'm going to send her chapter two. Make sure she get that. And chapter three. I was like, so I'm doing something right. So nice.
Yeah, so
I was
what I'm
like,
doing, like this campaign, for example, is basically I want to do a big print run of this graphic novel. So
how
that's
many
what the
copies you thinking about printing?
so I'm thinking about printing about 1,000 copies of the book, right?
Gotcha, gotcha.
And that way I'll have enough copies for years to come if this thing doesn't
Heck yeah,
sell the way I want it to sell.
heck yeah.
But
We got to get
hopefully,
this to an animation movie or
yeah,
show or something.
yeah, yeah.
Just looks beautiful. I'm like,
Thank
it's
you.
stories like this. I truly believe we need more of because one, like you said, it's coming of age. Two, it's relatable because as like for me, it's relatable for me because as a kid, I didn't know what the heck I want to do as a kid. And like I was like, yes, I speak English, but I never talked as a like, growing up. I'm always a quiet kid. I know I'm different, but I was bullied growing up, and I've always tried to fit into a crowd that I was never truly meant to be a part of, and I did some stupid shit.
To
I
fit in,
did some
right?
stupid
To
shit.
fit in, yeah.
And I was very shameful, so I was not shameless, but every pun intended. But yeah, especially kids today are like losing their lives, being bullied, and just because they're not feeling equal or like feeling seen. It's like stories like your story, Shameless Plug, we need a lot more of, and
No, I
that's why I
appreciate
freaking love this story.
I appreciate that, Kev. No, and I
It's so
appreciate you
freaking
saying
beautiful.
that because, like, I don't want people to think, oh, it's an immigrant story. Oh, yeah, of course, immigration today is big. This guy kind of is getting in on
Yeah.
immigration, and it's not. It's not that. I mean, listen, I came to this country when I was 7 years old. You know, I was
Mm,
7 years old, and I was a little awkward. I was a little weak. I just didn't fit in. What I had going for myself was that I was a pretty good athlete as a little kid. I played a lot of sports, and that helped me fit in, right, because of the sports. But this story is not just about an immigrant kid. I mean, listen, we all, to your point, man, we all grow up trying to fit into something. And even as adults, man, when we start a new job, I am who I am. That's cool. Even when you go into a new company, when you get a job, you still
mm.
kind of figure out, okay, what am I supposed to be doing here? Where do I fit in here?
Exactly. Yeah.
How do I become a good team player so I can get my work done, so I can get my raise and I can do it. So you're trying to we are constantly trying to fit into something, dude. No matter who you are,
Exactly.
you're constantly trying to figure out where you belong, where am I at right now? And for those who figure it out early, and for those who are very successful at it, that's kudos to you, man. Congratulations, because not
Very
everybody's
good.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I think this story is more than just whether you want to call it an immigrant story or whether you want to call it, it's just a comic. Yeah, all of that is true. But at the same time, it's deeper than that, man. We all go
So
through this
much
stuff.
cheaper.
And I think it's important to talk about it. I call this a young adult. It's rated young adults, rated YA. It's not for kids. It looks kiddie, it looks fun, it looks cute, but it's more for like, kids, like I would say young adults who can basically relate, who can understand this a little more. And that's why I rated it that. So, but these are the rewards here, man.
You guys can get the digital copy of the 100. That's a big file to send, by the way.
That's a big file.
That is a huge file
That's a
to
big
send.
file, bro. That is a
Oh
big file.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
This one, the next one gets even bigger because I'm gonna add the script and some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
to it.
That's
That's a
that's that's
lot.
a that's a huge file.
That's a
And
lot.
you're
That's a
printing a
lot.
thousand of these, man. Kudos to you, brother. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
So then the
Oh my
140
God.
page graphic novel is the next one.
Yeah.
And it's only 25 bucks. So it's a pretty good deal for what you're getting. It's a
Oh
$25
yeah.
140 page. And the shipping is
Beautiful.
baked into the 25. So it's not like you're going to pledge 25 and
Really?
then you get another, oh man, another $7 for it. No,
Wow.
it's 25
Yeah.
bucks flat. That's what you're going to pay for it.
Oof.
So
That's a
that's
good
that
freaking
one.
deal.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And this covers, and this was the winner. Cover A was the winner of the book. Yeah, so people actually chose this cover. It wasn't just me who decided to
Well,
do it. I gave them 4 options, and the 4 options are available in the campaign as well, but not as covers, but as prints. And so, but this is the
um,
cover that won.
so
Yeah,
like a poster, like sticker or
it's like
something?
a 6 by 9 print. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And
smart. That's
yeah, and
freaking
so
smart.
this particular reward here is for the graphic novel, but you also get the first 40 pages in the retail edition of the book. So you have the
Oh,
first 40 pages separate from the graphic novel in case you want that, and then you get a 6 by 9 print of the cover itself for the $40.
dude, these are awesome deals, man.
Thanks, man.
And make sure
Yeah,
you guys go back to the book. The Kickstarter is in the description of this video while you're watching, guys. Like this is a good freaking deal. A
yeah.
6 by 9. I can't tongue twister. Jesus Christ. A 6 by 9, 140 page full color graphic novel, guys. Man, and this is paperback and hardcover, or just paperback?
No, it's paperback. So I didn't do the
Okay,
hardcover for this one because it was going to cost a lot to do the
good
hardcover,
point. Good
and
point.
so it's the paperback. But I've talked to people like you should do a hardcover. So I may do a hardcover later on, but this is for that.
Yeah, hardcover is one more expensive and it takes longer production,
It
so
does, right? Yeah, yeah.
understandable. Yeah.
This particular reward has a sketchbook. So this is a sketch cover, and
Yeah.
inside the book is a separate file for the script. And I show you like from script to like pencils to colors. Like I give you the
Really?
progression of what the
Dude.
page looked like. Yeah. And then I'm also going to have behind the scenes stuff like, for example, the character designs. Big shout out to C. Michael Lanning, who also helped me with the design of some of these characters. Like I would sketch
Yeah.
them out, and he kind of cleaned those things up for me. So you're finally gonna be able to see what he drew at the beginning. An unsung hero, Mr. C. Michael Lanning. I
So
really appreciate
I
him for
also
doing this.
and I also really love that because that can actually inspire like a potential creator. Like you can actually see the
Right.
process
The
of how
process.
you
Yeah.
transition from writing it to getting the designs together. And like so it's like like your book is educational like in both ways, from like
You,
not just from an entertainment standpoint, but
you
also
mentioned
showing the process.
you mentioned movies, right? And how you watch movies, the DVDs for the behind the scenes, for how they create, how they film that particular scene or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the vibe that I'm going for with this. Is like, here's the script. This
Let's
is
freaking
what came
go.
back. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God. That is and this tier is $80. That's a good freaking
And
deal.
these are the 4 covers that were voted on. So I
Ah,
made them all prints.
dude, that's free. Yeah, I would vote the first one too. I love the other three, but I vote for the first one too.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. I love that, man. I
Nice.
love that
Oh my
cover.
God.
And then I only have 6 rewards because I wanted to keep it really simple. So this is the sixth one. Same thing as the other one where you get the sketch cover, whatever. But what I'm including in this one was different. Is this little blip chip guy. I've been playing with this while we were doing painting. But it's almost like a
Yeah.
stress reliever, bro. It's like 2 magnets, and you kind of just rub them, and you're just kind of like sitting here just doing this. But what's cool about them, and they're called blip chips. What's cool about them is that when you put your phone near them, they take you to the website. The gentleman who created these, I linked up with him, and I was like, dude, I need one. I'm actually going to talk to him on my YouTube channel. Talk to him about his process on creating these cool little things, man. They look like little chibis. They look really freaking cool.
Also,
So
plug in your YouTube channel so we can go watch it too when you have
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll throw a shameless plug in there. But
No,
yeah,
I'm telling you, what's your YouTube channel so people can go to your
sorry,
channel.
get your
Yeah.
meds. Get your meds with a Z. So if you go to YouTube and type in "get your meds," you'll find it. But yeah, so I'm gonna have him on the show talk about this. So there's only 5. This heroic award, I call it, is limited to 5. 2 people already picked it up, so there's only 3 left, and they come in like this cool little package, really cool deal. So yeah, definitely check it out.
$100 get you all of that goody stuff, guys. My God, this the chef's kiss, like chef's kiss.
And
It's
here are some of the
like
preview
we need to
pages.
get your mess animation studio so we can make this into a freaking
Dude,
animated movie.
that's like my dream right there, bro. It really is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Some of the preview pages from Joseph And his artwork is very fun, clean. Like you said, it could easily be animated.
Yeah.
Definitely lends itself to be animated. So, and that's what I was going for. But yeah, no,
Like
he's
just
done
like this scene right here is relatable. I relate to it because I was legit like this kid.
walking into class
Like
scared,
especially in
right?
like
Yep,
elementary school, I
yep.
was like this nerdy kid, like basically in my own world while heading to class and stuff. So that's literally me.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's I had a lot of fun writing it because it was almost therapeutic for me to write this kind of stuff. And I
Mm.
couldn't wait to see what Joseph would do with the scenes that I was writing. And he freaking nailed it, man. He freaking really nailed it. It's interesting too because when I was doing the research to write the story, I
Mm.
researched imaginary friends, right? And like at what age do kids stop believing in imaginary friends? And most of the research said between 7 and 9. By 9 years old, kids
Really?
they start learning how to interact with other kids, and so the idea of an imaginary friend kind of goes away. A lot of the times they keep them beyond the 9 year old mark. But it was interesting to find out that at 9, and he's 9 years old in the story, and I was like, okay, it works. Like the research, like I had written research, and I was like, oh wow, I'm doing something right. Like to your point, like when you said I'm doing something right, it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that does work. You know, it's in line with research and child psychologists and all of that other stuff.
When you was writing this, it's like therapeutic for you. I mean, that's literally what writing is for me, and like getting my thoughts out and like getting my feelings out. Like growing up, like dealing with the bullies and everything, I would like intense anger, and my mother's a writer, and she forced me to stay in my room. She gave me a notebook and a pen or pencil, both. Said you can't leave this room until you write out your feelings because I'm not raising an abusive man. And she's flat out said,
Hero, bro.
"Oh,
She's
she
a
is." I'm
hero,
like,
dude.
dude, she could have kicked me out anytime, but she never did. Because she said someday, this is her legit her words. I was like, I don't know how old I was, but I was a teenager, so I can understand. She's like, someday you're gonna be a husband to somebody, and I'm not finna be a mother of abuser. And so she legit told me, stay in this room until you start writing your feelings out and get that crap out of your head. And since then, I started doing that, and I'm here now.
Yeah, yeah. Writing
I'm here
saved your
now,
life in a sense,
literally,
right? Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
And dude, God bless my mother.
God bless her, dude.
Like shoot, I wouldn't even be talking to you or any of the people I've met throughout my journey here. Because if I didn't do that, I would probably either be dead or probably in jail if I did not follow suit with what my mother told me. Let's get back to the story.
Nah,
I just
dude,
want to
but
put
that's
that
what
out there
it's.
about writing is very therapeutic. It
Yeah,
really
no, it
helps you
is. A hundred
mentally, it
percent.
helps you emotionally, it helps you spiritually. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like, I write poetry, I write horror stories, I write fantasies, like to get those thoughts out of my head and
yeah,
out of my heart.
yeah.
And like that's why I write a lot of horror and fantasy because I grew up in like a dark mindset.
So yeah,
Yeah, and it's like an easier avenue for me because that's one of my strong suits. I write a lot of horror, but I try to like mix it with different things because I don't want to be a one footnote creator. So I write, so I'm learning to write some dramas, like to write some stories like Shameless Plug, to write some comedies like the Wayans Brothers or like Adam Sandler. And that's why I love the movie Scary Movie because I'm writing my own spoof comic.
the new one's coming out. Are you ready to go check that out?
Hell yes, I need a laugh, bro. It's coming out this Friday. Shoot. And so I'm just like, I'm writing my own freaking spoof comic called Tinseltown Terror, where
The alliteration of that, I like that.
yeah, and
Tinseltown
the reason I
Terror.
call it that is because the comic is about making fun of Hollywood because of the rehashes and the reboots. The way it's like, I do a spoof of Big James and the Tinseltown Terror to show like this is how you'll be original to like to
That's
showcase.
cool, bro. That is
And she gave me
cool.
permission and gave me like the one rule that I need to follow. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fun to do.
yeah.
And
That's
like
awesome.
Christopher Brown, I'm like doing a spoof of his one of his cannibal characters from his novel. I'm gonna do my first spoof because I know I'm naturally funny without thinking about it, but it's tough and now I have to think about it because I'm writing it to a script. So I can't give a date of when that's gonna go into production or when it's gonna come out, but just stay tuned. It will come out
That sounds good.
sometime down the line. Tinseltown Terror is one of my books coming out. Man, that's
That's
gonna be so much fun. I'm actually thinking about making that an anthology.
okay.
bring some other creators. I'm like, you want to do a spoof of Hollywood just to make fun of Hollywood? Bring a story to Tinseltown Terror.
Since
Like
it's on
so, I'm
Terra, I
like,
really like the title. The title's awesome. The title's awesome.
and
I like that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, you can make any type of spoof. You can use whatever character. If you use characters like from Hollywood, make sure it's a public domain so I don't get flagged.
True.
Uh, but
True.
yeah, but if it's just characters that you create your own, even better. Look at this page right here. Oh my God. Oh
He,
man.
and the thing with Joseph too is he does all of it. He does the pencils, the inks, and the colors. So he does it all from
Wow.
soup to nuts. Yeah, he does everything. Yeah, yeah,
And do you letter your own book?
yeah. I lettered it myself. Yep.
Nice, nice. And shout out to the creative team.
There's the
George
creative
Medina, I
team.
know this guy. I'm talking to him
Yeah.
now. So,
There's Joseph Olesko. That's the artist. Ellie
yeah.
Cunningham. She was the story editor. So I sent her my script so
Heck
she
yeah.
can edit it to make sure that I wasn't all over the place with it. She did an incredible job. So big shout out to LA. And
Heck
then
yeah.
Joe Holly there with the glasses. He actually, so I sent them basically my sketch of the Shameless plug, like what I had in mind, and then he
Yeah.
turned it into what you guys see now, like this guy right here. So big shout out
Yeah.
to him. And then Victor colored what Joe drew, and so I had to throw them in here as part of the crew. And then C. Michael
Mo.
Lanning, who did the character designs and the character sheets for me as well. So big shout out to him.
Sick.
The other one,
Dude,
and I
this.
and I have to add her here because Lou Pons, and I know you know Lou Pons, she
Oh
did
yeah.
an incredible piece, an incredible 6x9 print that actually is the stretch goal that we just unlocked.
That's speaking of stretch goals, let's
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
suckers.
it was this guy right here. So she
Oh
did
my
that. Yeah,
God.
she's freaking awesome, dude. She is so awesome. So yeah, so everybody who
Oh,
pledges to a physical tier will get this included in their package when I send it out. So yeah,
come on. Shout out
yeah.
to Lou Pons,
Yeah,
guys.
she even got the "you need a dose of this" behind it, and like it's
Yeah.
incredible what she did. So I'm gonna have her actually on the channel as well, talking about the process behind creating this print. So I can't wait to talk to her
Oh my
next week.
God.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other things that are locked right now are the prints. So I'm calling this one Midnight Run. This is a 6x9 print that will be unlocked at $2,000. And then the rest of them down the pike are basically the covers that didn't actually make the book, but they became prints. Let's Play Ball. We have that one that will be unlocked at 3K, and then the Thumbs Up print that will be unlocked at 4K. So I'm not getting
Dude.
ahead of myself. I'm hoping 4K, but who knows?
Hey, anything's possible, man.
Anything's
You gotta
possible.
keep it grinding, man.
That's it. And then these are
Read
the
more
extras.
comics, specifically ours.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's JD Calderon. Big shout out to him. So backer stretch goals. So if you look at this rack, what you'll see some maybe some comics that you guys may recognize. The Path of the Pale Riders.
I
Right
see
up there
Wonder
as well.
Duck.
Wonder Duck is in there. So what I'm doing is every 20 backers, I'm raffling a comic off of this rack. A real life, the real actual
Oh,
comic. So you will get
yeah.
one of these at a physical copy of these books. You'll also get the PDF if you do PDF tier, but you will get the physical copy of the book. I actually have some of them here. But like for example, there's one here that's on the rack. If you look at the sour grapes one, so that's on
Ah,
here. So you will get
yeah.
that one. Here's Path of the Pale Rider. So I
Okay.
will be raffling these off. So one lucky backer will get one of these. So every 20, you have a chance to win. Yeah.
Let's get these stretch goals, guys.
Yeah. And then,
And
just a
shout
big
out to
shout out
what's some
to my friend
campaigns.
Sam, who's got this in my toilet, and Philip, who's got his
Papa
pop-up,
Chapter
Chapter
2.
2.
Oh
It's
my
live
God.
right now on Kickstarter. So please check those two
Like I
campaigns out.
love Papa Chapter 1. I got that. I gotta go back Chapter 2.
Yeah.
You guys gotta go back. Shameless plug. The link is in the description of this video as we're talking. My God. Like literally is like let's get to these stress goals, guys. Let's get this to 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000, guys.
Let's go. Let's go,
All
Cap.
right,
Yeah.
22 days left to go, guys. This is shameless. Let's get the sucker more funded. Right, so you can
Yeah,
get
that
2,000 prints and stuff.
and that listen, and Kev, I appreciate you doing this, my brother, because as soon as I hit you up, you were like, "Yeah, dude, come on the show, come on the show." So thank you so
Heck yeah,
much. I really
brother.
appreciate you, my brother.
I'm like, I was not gonna say no to you. I don't care if I'm in a real mental state. I'm gonna say yes because I freaking love talking to you, man. And I love your stories. I'm like, you let me read the digital
Yes.
copy of the 40 chapters. It was freaking amazing. I have to get the next 100 pages so I can read the full book.
Yeah, dude.
But like I said, guys, make sure you back this story, the Shameless plug on Kickstarter. But before we get off this show today, I get inspired by this wrestling podcaster where he asks his guests, "What are your three things you're grateful for?" Because we're all about Thanksgiving and anything for granted. Like for me, I'm grateful for one God because I wouldn't be here. Like, I wouldn't be breathing right now without God. Creativity. Well, God and family. It's creativity, and three is just really get out of my comfort zone because I wouldn't even be here if I didn't take a risk and like to get out my comfort zone, doing podcasting and like creating different type of things. Like, what is your three things that you're grateful for?
I think, obviously family, friends, I think I'm grateful for that. And that goes without saying, the people that love me,
Okay.
and encourage me. And the fact that I've been fortunate enough to have those kind of people in my life. A lot of people don't have that, So I'm very grateful for having a very strong support system, people who really love and care about me genuinely, not because of something that I can give them or not because of something that they can see, they can get from me, but because they really, truly do love me. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that, I have an outlet like this, creativity, an outlet to kind of like, to your point, to write my frustrations out, to write my ideas out, get that out of my system without hurting myself or hurting anybody else. The fact that
Oh,
I'm able to do that, and that God has given me the talent to do something like that, Maybe not to the extent of like, oh wow, you are making movies like the 20 something year olds that we saw yet, but there is something there, and I appreciate it. That doesn't go unnoticed on me. I know how lucky I am to have that, and the fact that I'm alive today, bro. Tomorrow,
yeah.
hopefully, I wake up and you wake up and we're alive and we're doing our thing every day. Every day is a freaking blessing, man. Every day is a gift,
Hell yeah,
and
man.
do not take it for granted. The older you get, the more you realize this life is short as hell, man. It's not forever, so you got to make every day, man. Make it the most. So, yeah, those are the things, man. Those are the things that I'm definitely grateful for, and I appreciate the question. This is an awesome question, man.
Where can you follow you on social media to keep update with you, man?
Yeah, go to getyourmeds.com. That's my website. I do a lot of posting on whether it's Facebook or Instagram, but it's always Get Your Meds on those platforms. So definitely getyourmeds.com is probably the best way to get me. Thank you so much for having me, Kev. Appreciate you, my brother.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. And you can follow me on Instagram at I am Cameron Davis Official. Kelsey Fade Podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen and watch podcasts. And you can also follow my YouTube at Conversal or Kevisel. But this has been your boy Kevin and your boy George on Kelsey Fade Podcast. We'll catch you guys next time.